All right, in this video, we're going to talk about cover one and what exactly is cover one and the multiple ways that we can play cover one. So, the first thing that we want you to think of when you hear of cover one is that last number, whether it be cover one, cover two, cover three. And that one is going to signify how many deep defenders there are. So, in this instance, cover one, there's going to be one deep defender with everyone else underneath playing man coverage. Okay, so we're going to draw it up real quick, and then me and Coach Swingo are going to talk a little bit more about cover one. So, from right here, the corner is going to play man on the wide receiver. Okay, this outside linebacker, or it could be a nickelback in your case, we'll play man coverage as well. Man coverage and then man coverage. And coach, we actually have two extra defenders in a normal 4-down defense that can account for this one extra player. So normally what we'll do is we'll have them both play that back. And then if he runs out this way, this linebacker can take him. If he goes this way, this linebacker can take him. It all depends on your preference. What have you seen teams do with those two linebackers?
Yeah, so it's similar to what you said. I've heard it called a banjo call uh, in my terminology that I've used in the past, where whichever side the back is going to release to, that linebacker will take him. And whatever the opposite responsibility is, whether that be a hole or a rat player, so dropping into a middle zone of the underneath part to try to disrupt any crossing route, sort of take a double to wherever the quarterback's eyes is going to take him, or that extra defender can also trigger on a blitz. So, for another example, if that running back was to release to the left, and you were to have a blitz tag on for the unoccupied linebacker, the Mike would then take the running back, and the Sam could trigger into that open backside B gap there.
Yeah, and a lot of times, a more advanced term, it's called pressing the back too, where you'll have this running back. Majority of the time with these spread offense, they're having this running back step up here, and a lot of times what teams will have these backers do is actually press the back. So they'll go get the running back, and what that does is it adds to the rush here, and essentially has those linemen peel off to try to account for what looks like to them as a blitz, but really they're just moving towards the line of scrimmage, and it helps those defensive linemen get more one-on-one situations. So again, you can cover the back. With these two, you can press the back, or you can have one blitz, one peel off. Whatever it may be, you do have an extra defender to play for this cover situation. Coach, let's talk about this free safety. We talked about him being that one deep defender. A lot of teams will just have him mirror the quarterback's eyes. We talked about the rat situation. Can you talk a little bit more about what that rat means and how you can use that free safety in a rat situation?
Yeah, so in like a true cover one look, I always, in my opinion, always want to keep one deep safety. So if we do want to rat him to where you're bringing two inside guys, and maybe it's like a goal line situation, or like a third and short, where you're really trying to protect the underneath areas and the sticks, you can either come out of a two high shell and insert one of those guys as the post safety, or play more of that cover zero look to where now that one high player is going to be more of a rat player as opposed to a deep player. That just means he's going to play more underneath coverage. So if he was that true deep player, he'd want to be getting into a back pedal, making sure that nothing's being behind him. Where now, if he was that rat player, he can play more up into the run fit. And then if they do get a pass read, now you can kind of cut a crosser or try to trap anything over the middle, playing more of that underneath coverage principle.
Yeah, and the best way to teach the rat is the rat eats the cheese, right? You always want the quarterback to take the cheese, so you have that player spark up underneath in order to rob something underneath it. It's also known as a rat. Another variation you could do with this single high safety is if you have a player on the outside that's dominant, you can simply shade his way, and essentially you create a double team, whether it be these two players as one player. You don't really see that too often, as you want to be able to, coach, what you said, protect against that post safety. But it's just a different variation you can have. If you don't have him ratting or playing underneath, you can have him double to the outside.
Yeah, I think another variation too that we can kind of talk about more out of it, it kind of falls into that two-man principle, where if you were to walk that strong safety back, uh, play out of a two high shell, and then walk that Sam out to play man coverage over number two, you can do some different stuff where one might be that rat player, uh, one of those safeties be the rat player, the other one be the deep player, or you can have one who might have been the rat player in a normal cover, true cover one scenario, double a certain number, then still keep that one high post player.
Yeah, exactly. And that's something we're going to talk about in future videos as well. As we do this coverage breakdown, starting with cover one, we'll have cover two, cover three, cover four released relatively soon. So be sure to check out those videos. But for now, this is cover one, the very basics of cover one. If you do have any questions, let us know in the comment section below. We answer every comment that comes through. And if you have any comments as well, how to add on to cover one, maybe different varieties that you do with this free safety, let us know in the comment section below. Be sure to check out those future videos that we're going to have.